let's just remind ourselves about a couple of tiny things since we're in a Toastmasters meeting. Um, Please stay muted throughout the meeting unless you're asked to unmute yourself. Please keep your video on and keep smiling. Please put your mobile devices away for some time. Please make sure that they do not disturb you while you're a part of this meeting. And most importantly, since this is a training program, keep a bottle of water handy and a notebook as well so that you can take notes. Now, I'd first like to invite someone. This individual is known, she's a very hardworking individual. She's always there whenever you need her to be. She's none other than our district director, distinguished Toastmaster Savita Salian. Um, she was also the first club group director of District 121 and achieved medley distinguished status in her year. Can we all have a big round of applause and give our district director a warm welcome to the virtual stage? Savita ma'am, the stage is all yours.
Savita is still muted.
Savita, ma'am, we can't hear you.
Savita ma'am, we can't hear you. Left hand.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Am I visible?
No.
Oh, okay.
Now okay.
Okay, thank you, Radhakrishna. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
I'm delighted to be here today at our district contest management training session. And I want to express my sincere gratitude to our PQD DTM Gokul for organizing this invaluable event. His dedication and effort is bringing us together as are truly commendable. So this year, we have a talented and dedicated Toastmaster, DTM Rudra, as our contest manager. The contest, I assure you, will be in his safe hands. So we are also fortunate to have DTM Safir, District Chief Judge, with us today to answer your questions and provide guidance. Their expertise and experience are invaluable assets to our district. As we prepare for our upcoming contest, it's essential to emphasize the importance of knowing and understanding the rules. The rules are the foundation upon which our contests are built. So they ensure fairness, consistency, and a level playing field for all participants. So by familiarizing ourselves with the rules, we can avoid last-minute hassles, maintain the integrity of our contest, and provide a positive experience for everyone involved. Once the contestants are confident that you are familiar with the rules and there's a chain of command, you have no idea how relaxed they feel. So hence, do pay attention to the minute details here. All of us realize that discipline, of course, plays a crucial role in the success of our contest. So it's important to adhere to the time limits, follow the prescribed procedures, and maintain a respectful and professional demeanor. So by demonstrating discipline, we not only uphold the standard of excellence expected of Toastmasters, but also create a conducive environment for learning and growth. So once again, I want to express my appreciation to all of you for attending this training and our leaders, DTM Gokul, Rudra, and Safir for their contribution to putting this event together. Their efforts are instrumental in ensuring the success of our contest and the continued growth of our members. So don't forget to enjoy the learning today, dear Toastmasters. It is when we learn that we feel productive and cheerful, so as you all know. So thank you, and I wish you all a productive and informative workshop. Over to you, Ashwin.
All right, looks like I was talking on. Thank you very much, Madam District Director. Can we please give our District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Savita, another round of virtual applause? All right. Up next, I'd like to invite someone who's very young, who's at max about 27, 28 years old, but still people call him uncle. It's not because he looks old, it's because of how mature he is. He has served the district in various capacities, and this year he's serving District 121 as the Program Quality Director. Yes, I'm talking about none other than distinguished Toastmaster Gokul P. Meni. He has served District 121 in the capacity of the conference chair, district administration manager. He has also served as area director and division director as well. Can we please put our hands together for the legendary distinguished Toastmaster Gokul P. Meni?
Thank you so much, Ashwin. I just did not understand the part legendary that you mentioned towards the end. Anyway, we'll circle back to that a little later. Good morning to all the 77 of you that are here to attend the contest management training scheduled by District 121 today.
Good
And
morning.
what makes it more special is that all of you have joined on a national holiday. It's the 2nd of October. It's not a Saturday. It's not a Sunday. It's midweek. But because it's a national holiday, our contest management trainer and our chief judge thought, why not give our members a little bit of time teaching them about contest management? And you'll hear from both of them in a little while. Contests have been something that I'm always excited by. The first time that I took part in contests and progressed all the way up to division was in the year 2016. And that was for a competition called Literati. It's no longer there, but it's where a group of people come together to present on something in front of a large audience. I still recall the hours of effort that we put as a team to prepare ourselves. I still remember the debates we used to have as to what would work out in front of a large audience. And trust me, after these countless hours of practice to make it perfect, you'd still feel there is that little bit effort that we need to put more to reach that winning stage. But what I've realized over the years, especially handling contests than taking part because of my district officer journey, is that it's not about winning. In fact, it has never been about winning, had we not thought otherwise. It is always about taking that courage out, going to the stage, and taking part in this extravaganza. I still remember in one of the clubs that I was part of, there was a member by name Ravi, and I've written about him somewhere. Ravi used to be glossophobic. He was not confident to speak in front of public. And he joined a couple of months before the contest in our home club. I used to see him shiver sitting next to me, and many a times we had to give him a gentle nudge for him to go to the stage and do table topics in our regular club meetings. His mentor then motivated him to take part in contests and try out table topics contest at that point in time. Ravi somehow mustered up the courage, went onto the stage, and spoke for the very first time as part of contests. He shivered initially, but then he spoke related to the topic. He did not win that time, but he won internally because that gave him the courage to speak in front of public. That motivated him to try out the next time. And I still remember the first person who signed up for the contest the very next year when we had table topics contests was Ravi. For him, the change was not in becoming the first, the second, or the third in the speech contest, but the change for him was in mustering the courage to try out for another time. This is what we see, but there are a lot of things that go behind organizing such contests, and that is what you will learn today during the contest management training conducted by our contest coordinator for the district, Toastmaster Rudra Kumar. He is ably supported by a district chief judge, whom you would have heard in various occasions on site and online, Distinguished Toastmaster Safir Aziz. And they're very well supported by our MC and Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Ashwin as well. If you have any queries, please feel free to ask. All the queries that you have posted via the Zoom registration form have already been shared with them. They'll address this in due course of time. But if you have any queries, please ping them on the chat box. Please let them know by unmuting yourself. And more importantly, if you don't see your friends in the 84 count that you see as of now in the Zoom box, please ping them, ask them to join, and they would have received a unique link on their email. We hope to see them here as well. Thank you so much to each one of you. you'll have a great takeaways while you go back. Thank you so much, and back to you, Ashwin, to take it forward.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Gokul, for that wonderful message. Toastmasters, can you please give our program director a big round of virtual applause? Moving on, I would like to introduce and invite a very special individual. Someone who's been a Toastmasters for over 5 years now. He's completed two parts. He has also served various roles in the district. He has been an area director in the past. He has also been a division director, and he has also been a division director. He was also the program chair for Crescendo in the program year 2023-2024. On the professional front, he has worked with various organizations such as Wells Fargo and is now a part of HSBC and has over 14 years of experience in financial services. He is currently the Chief Control Officer at HSBC. He is also the president of We Are Advanced Toastmasters. Can we please have a big round of virtual applause for Toastmaster Rudra? Toastmaster Rudra, the virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ashwin, for such a lovely introduction, acknowledging the presence of our district director, our program quality director, and all the division directors, dignitaries in this room, fellow Toastmasters, and dear friends. Today is October the 2nd, as we were discussing earlier, and obviously it's no stranger that why the October 2nd is the holiday. So if you look very closely to the picture of Mahatma Gandhi, you might find some resemblance to my look, but that's what you are stuck with on today. I can see that there are quite a few lookalikes sitting in the room, and it would be great if as many of you as possible are able to come on the video, because as we know, that's the best way we can replicate to the in-person setup, and we can see your reactions. We can gauge what's going on, because at the end of the day, in Toastmasters, along with leadership, we practice public speaking, and if we don't see the public, what's the fun? So let me take a quick moment and request all of you, if your bandwidth allows, please do come on the video. All right, we will have the presentation up, and I'm conscious that while the presentation is up, obviously the visibility will be lesser. So I'll try to toggle around. So if I'm not directly looking into the camera, don't think that I'm ignoring anything. It's just me trying to navigate a few things on the screen. And as you can see, I've logged in from two devices. Well, today morning, the first thing my system decides to do is act a little game on me and not allow me to switch on the video. So I'm having my backup ready. All right, let's get started for this year's contest management training. We have 91 people in the room, and I'm really hopeful that just like how India outplayed Bangladesh yesterday with a fast strike rate, we would soon have three figures reaching very quickly in this training. Um, First thing first, as distinguished Toastmaster Gokul was talking about, that contest is not about winning. Well, for me personally, it's about winning. And I'll tell you why it's about winning. Every single time you are raising your hand, either as a contestant or a contest official, you are a winner. You are a winner, my friends, because you have gone over and above and beyond and what is holding you back inside. You have gotten a victory over that feeling, over that fear. So you are a winner. So every single time, in whatever capacity you are associated with the contest, you are a winner. So, in addition to the story that Gokul shared with us some time back, if you have to just think back on why contest, I think it's always about how we are able to not just give it back to our Toastmasters, but also give it to ourselves. So that's why contest becomes a really important aspect for all of us. Now, as I get started, I have a few slides that I'll talk through to all of you on this call, on this session. However, I would encourage you that at any point in time, if you have any questions, make a note of it. What we want to do is we want to utilize the time optimally. So we will finish the slides that we have. If possible, make a note of the slide as well. So it's much easier that when you have a question, we are able to quickly toggle to that slide. As Gokul was also mentioning earlier, we have a few pre-submitted questions as well. So in the course of this presentation, we have actually tried to make sure that those questions are getting answered as well. But if in case we are not able to answer that question during the presentation, we'll make sure that we take those questions as well. All right. And in the chat as well, feel free to drop in the question. So we'll take a look, and we've tried to keep enough buffer time during this session to take as many questions as possible. And that's not about it. I would be sharing all the details, in which you can use to support yourself. At the same time, reach out to the contest management team for this year, and we would be there to help you, to support you. So let's get started. Next few minutes that you'd be here, well, I would like you to remind Toastmasters founders, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley's world, that we learn the best in the moments of enjoyment. So let's enjoy, and let's make sure that we are able to give the members of District 121 the best contest experience that they can ever have, and take some good things away from here. So on that note, let's start. And first thing first, I'll quickly lay out in terms of what are the aspects that we are going to cover in today's session. At a broad level, we will provide you an overview in terms of how we have laid out the contest specific details. How would you go about preparation? What happens during the contest? And at our in our district at the club level, we have the hybrid contest as well. So we'll quickly touch base on that aspect as well. Now, first thing first, let's talk about how District 121 for this program year has gone ahead and organized the contest. So as you can see, the district level contest will be in person. And what I mean by that is that at the area, division, and district level contest, they will take place in person. Clubs are allowed to host an online or a hybrid contest. The first two contests that you see, the evaluation and table topic contests for club and area level, are to be completed by October 2024. So I'm aware and I'm conscious that majority of our clubs in District 121 has already been able to complete their club level contests, and the area level contests are going to soon get started. The international speech contest would follow its usual cycle. So we would see them taking place starting February of the next year. And the finale and the grand event that we have for our district will take place at Crescendo 2025. Registration for that will begin very soon. So watch out this space. Do register as soon as possible. This is in terms of the construct for the contest that we are going to have in District 121 for this program year. Now, as we talk about the contest, well, there are two really important roles. And if we have gotten these two role holders identified, and if these two role holders are prepared and are able to provide the right guidance and support, I think the contests are going to be, of the top quality. And we will spend some time on what are the expectations and how these two important role holders are going to be going ahead and performing their duties. The two role holders, as you see on the screen, are the contest chair and the chief judge. Um, and this is the session that will spend or dive into some of the key aspects that they would be performing. But at a very high level, if I have to break down how they would be going ahead and undertaking their activities, on the left hand side you see for contest chair, they ensure that they have appointed the chief judge, the contest toastmaster. They are the ones responsible to check the eligibility of the role takers along with the contestants. They make sure that we have gotten the right people providing the right kind of support. They oversee the whole contest, and once the contest gets over, they are the ones who would be providing announcing the winners, providing the the trophies and the certificates over to the winners as well as the participants. On the other hand, if you see the chief judge, they are the ones responsible to make sure that we have the judges in place to oversee or to officiate the whole contest. They make sure that the relevant role takers, such as the judges, the ballot counters, the timers, etc., are briefed. They monitor, the chief judge monitors the whole contest while it's taking place, and if there are any protests, they are the ones who go ahead and tackle that and manage that. And they are responsible to provide the list of winners to the contest chair for the announcement. Now, this is just a whistle stop tour on what these two role takers are supposed to undertake. We will dive in in a little more details as we go along in the session. Now, I have 93 people on the call, and I'm sure there are some Toastmasters who are no stranger to the contest. So what I'll do is, as I'm going along, this presentation, I'd also ask a few questions of you. But as we are talking about questions on this screen, there is a QR code, which if you scan, it will take you to the speech contest rule book. Now, why it's important in the context of question is because this is the document which will give you answer to all contest related questions. This is the speech contest rule book that needs to be followed for all the contests that are taking place in this program year. While we will circulate this particular presentation that I am showing it to you right now, I would also request you take a few seconds. You'll be able to scan this QR code, and you'll be able to get access to this speech contest rulebook. It's also available on the Toastmasters International portal. So again, the link for that we will circulate with you. All right. Let me ask a question actually. So we have 90 plus members present here. Let's do the fastest finger first. Can somebody ping in the chat what is the purpose of contests in Toastmaster? What is the purpose of contests in Toastmaster? So Maria says progress. All right, let's see, to bring the best in you. Thank you, Balram. Holistic development, learning, challenge, win, measure the growth. All right, good, good responses. What else? What else do you think is the purpose of the contest? To check where we are in our progress, the exposure, the confidence. I like this one. Learning to fail, building self-confidence, to gain speaking experience, communicate, recognize the best, learn from experts. Absolutely. Well, all of you are absolutely right. Um, Toastmasters, speech contests, they are, they are an opportunity for our Toastmasters to provide or to gain one, the speaking experience, but at the same time, learn by observing other proficient speakers. Now, as we know, we are no strangers to how the contest moves in Toastmasters, starting at the club level to the area, division, district, etc. Right now, as we are progressing in that journey, as you would see that the competition starts to uh, pick up pace, and from each level we get to see the best progressing to the next level. Now, merely by sitting in the room where the contest is taking place, if you look at those Toastmasters who are taking the stage as contestants, you would see how they are positioning, they are preparing, they are presenting themselves, and that is a great learning experience. And that's what is the purpose of the speech contest. And thank you so much for all your responses. You are absolutely, close to how we look at it. For international speech contest, there is a specific purpose that has been defined by Toastmasters International, which is right here on the slide, which says that it is about members to or it enables members to practice public speaking and content development in a competitive setting. And all of us remember this feeling, right? That when we were in our school or colleges, and we'll prepare so well for the exams, but when right in the moment when you are sitting in the exams, even some of the answers that we would know, we would forget, right? And it's absolutely natural that when you are put through that trigger, put through that pressure, sometimes your mind acts little differently. Now, imagine now this happening in a public speaking setup where there is that glossophobia is there, and then you have this other pressure of being in a competitive setting. Now imagine this, all of us coming together and still the members being able to, come out victorious is something that is a testament of their resilience, the testament of how they are developing in the journey of public speaking. So that is something that the speech contests are enabling, or the international speech contest is enabling us to do. And thank you, Faireen, for the word of affirmation. Um, it also talks about making sure that the speech is fitting in the overall purpose of the contest, which is to develop and present a substantially original idea. And we'll talk about what exactly this means, but originality is one aspect that we promote through our speech contest. Now, um, first important role, as I was speaking about earlier, the contest chair. While I revealed the answer, I should not have clicked, but I think it goes without saying. Some of the things that you would see here is absolutely common sense, and one of them is the eligibility of who can be the role takers, the contestants. Right? This session and the contests are the Toastmasters contest. So, which means anybody participating needs to be a paid member of a club, right? And the club needs to belong to that particular area, division, or district in which they are contesting. So, that's a no brainer, and that's something that you would see being repeated on a few slides when we talk about various role takers as well as the contestants. But that's something that is a point to remember. Contest chair, to me, like I was mentioning earlier, if you have gotten a right contest chair for your contest, your life is sorted. And I was so happy to see Savita ma'am smiling and affirming that she's happy, she's able to sleep peacefully because she's gotten the right people to manage the contest. And I think that's a situation that we would really want all of our club leaders, the area division and district leaders to feel when we are volunteering to support the contest. And that's something that we would be able to go ahead and showcase um, through our learnings that we are getting from this session and how we would manage the contest. One more aspect about the contest chair, and actually it is applicable to multiple other roles, that if you are picking up a role um, as a contest official, you would not be eligible to compete in the same contest, right? So just to give you an example, if I am a contest official for a table topic contest, well, unfortunately, I am not eligible to participate in that contest. And again, like I mentioned, it's a no-brainer. It will cause a conflict of interest. So to avoid that, the Toastmasters International rule mandates that these role holders will not be competing in the same contest. Now, in terms of the preparation, put it in the chat box. What do you think are the most important aspects when it comes to the preparation for a contest? Let's see. What are some of the top answers? Let's go. It could be any aspect, just your thoughts on what do you think are the key components to prepare for a contest, both as a contestant and as a contest official. Let's see who is the brave one first putting in their comment. Budget, yes. Oh, as a banker, I'm so happy to see that's the first answer. Thank you, Tanuja. Yes, venue, the chief judge and the contest master. Thank you, Shirley, ma'am. All right, management of contestants, judges, time management, brilliant. What else? What else we need to prepare for? Get as many participants as possible. Absolutely. There you go. I'm sure you are a club official who is writing that because that's something that we really want. Yes, Balaram says agenda and role takers. Pandi, the resilient man. Yes, last minute backouts. Well, you have to prepare. You have to not just have your plan A, but plan A, B, C, D, E. I don't know, all the alphabets you need to consider as well. Brilliant. Oh, Nana, ma'am, I love you for writing refreshments. Now, this is something that I was going to talk and spend a little more time in one of the slides. So I'll remember that. Refreshments, really important. Um, all right, prepare the material. Thank you, CK sir. Ensure best logistics for the event. Absolutely. Backups. Yes, resilience is important. So you need to have your backups. Rehearsals, preparations. Yes, absolutely. Brilliant, brilliant. So let's dive in and see what are the core components or what are the key components that we need to consider from a preparations perspective. And thank you, Brinder, for a contestant read a lot on various subjects and practice. Okay, yes, absolutely, sir. Thank you so much. All right, so when we are talking about preparation, we'll touch on various role takers, but like I mentioned, some of the role takers, they are quite essential to make sure that we have a good quality contest. Let's start with a contest chair. So if you are taking a role as a contest chair, what are the things you need to prepare for? And I think pre-session we had this question that had come from Rekha as she wanted to know a bit more about this. So Rekha, hopefully this segment will answer some of the queries and questions and doubts that you had and you wanted to understand. So first thing first, as a contest chair, budget is really important. Money is important. And when you are planning the budget, you need to keep in mind a few aspects. We'll talk about that. The second aspect is program, how the whole program will flow. So you need to prepare the agenda. You need to prepare who are the people who you are going to bring in. So not just the role takers, contestants, but also the dignitaries that you need to invite for your contest, and then your logistics. How do you manage the whole logistics? But if you see one thing, as Nana ma'am was pointing towards, the food, the coffee, the lunch breaks, the tea, the snacks are really important because, as you would imagine, all these individuals who are either participating as a contestant or a contest official, it's really taxing. So please make sure that when you are organizing a contest, you keep in mind their well-being. Think about, an option to provide them with water, them refreshments to help them sort of get rid of that fatigue that comes from the hard work that they are putting across or putting for this whole segment. And as I'm talking, I can see Kuber says that we have hit 101. So that's brilliant. As I was mentioning, that as we would go along, we would hit the century, and there we are. Now, when we are talking about the budget, here are some of the key things that you need to keep in mind when you are putting together your budget planning. First thing first, the winner's trophies. So you need to account for the winner trophies that you need to get. The certificates, you need to provision budget for that as you are getting them um, for your participants as well as the winners. Then you might require mementos and recognitions for your contest officials, your dignitaries that you are inviting. In some cases, when you are at a club level, when you are, especially when you are hosting the hybrid contest, and some of your contestants or contest officials might not be present, and you might need to send them the gifts, goodies, and the trophies, etc. So you need to cater to those postal charges. Like I mentioned, Well, for area, division, and district, the contest is in person. But for club, you have the option of doing hybrid. And when you are doing hybrid, you might require an online platform for which you need to cater to see if there are any fees, etc., that you need to keep in mind. Then the venue, obviously, you're gonna host it. Well, we are a non-profit organization, and we try and see as much as we can get a free venue, but many a times it's not feasible, it's not possible, and that's when um, we need to make sure that we cater to or keep a consideration for the cost for the venue as well. Now, while you are planning all of this, there are times that you might have to, or you might take into account that there would be there would be fees that you would be charging for the members to join your contest, but your objective should be to break even, which means you should make sure that you are not going with the mindset or the bent that you need to make money out of it. Your initiative, your idea should be that you charge only as much as you need to make the contest a success. Make sure that your contestants are not charged any fee to compete. I think somebody had mentioned, if I'm not wrong, let me just quickly take a look at the chat. Yeah, Barinder sir had mentioned that it is to make sure that contestants are coming prepared. We are making sure that people are able to participate, and for the contestants, you must not charge any fee to compete. The other important aspect is, because you are planning your budget, please plan for your timelines very clearly. Make sure that the moment you have the bills paid, you keep records of those payments, get invoices wherever it's possible, and make sure that you promptly submit them to either your club treasurer or the finance manager based on what kind of contest you are supporting. From money matters to program. Now, this is another important aspect to provide a good quality contest. You need to make sure that there are two things that are happening very, very early in your contest planning. One, decide the schedule and the venue, and take help of your PR team to inform the members who are going to be or who are expected to attend. That's something that should be your priority number one. In some cases, I would say that as soon as your budget is nailed, make sure that these two are sorted and communicated promptly. Because what that does is that gives people the opportunity to go ahead and plan their day accordingly, plan their schedule accordingly. So please make sure that, you know, deciding on the venue, the schedule, and informing it to the members are done promptly. The second is, when you are scheduling, as we had discussed about earlier, we encourage or we want to make sure that as many number of our members are able to participate in the contest. So make sure you invite members for their participation at the club level contest, and from there on, obviously the winners will progress to area, division, etc. The promotion is other important aspect. So as you have gone ahead and informed the members about the schedule, etc., please also make this effort of going ahead and reaching out to the guests. Now, don't just limit it to, you create a poster and you put it somewhere. Try and make that personal connect, right? And as we talk about in terms of our member retention, in terms of our promotion of our clubs, that how our relationship with the members and having that personal connect really helps in bringing that value addition, etc. So please leverage that. Please leverage your personal connect. Reach out to as many people as possible. Invite them for your contest, and show them the quality that your club or at any level that you are organizing the contest is able to to bring out. And during all of this exercise, please make sure that you are brand compliant. If you have any questions, reach out to the district PR team for any support as well. And I'm sure Daryl and team is always there to help. And I can personally attest as well on some of the instances I had to take their help. When it comes to the agenda, I think for me, the most important aspect of the agenda is plan for all the contingencies. Keep that buffer in between. Keep the buffer for, you know, uh, I mean, go into as much of detail as possible, like this, like when we had planned last year's crescendo program, we had even kept consideration for a person walking from the end of the hall to the stage, and how long they can take, right? So I'm not saying that you have to, you have to get into so much of detail, but do keep consideration for all of these things, because that really helps you provide that cushion, that helps you build that agenda where you are able to go ahead and justify the timings, and you are prepared, you are not rushing. And if you take all of that into consideration and communicate to everybody who is going to join your contest, they would know what to expect, they would come prepared. So it's always better to under promise and over deliver, and not the other way around. So please make sure that is considered in the agenda. The second aspect is breaks, and as I spoke about, that contests sometimes can be taxing for people. So please make sure that you are providing opportunity for people to take a break, to get up from their chairs, to walk around, to stretch themselves, etc., and obviously get their mind away from the competition for a brief period of time. When you are inviting senior members, dignitaries, in some events, I've also seen that at different levels, people would love to organize special events along with their contests, etc. And if you are doing that, please make sure that your agenda captures that and you are prepared and planning for that. Now, from program, we move on to the tasks that needs to be undertaken. And just as an example, if you're talking about a club, if you are the club president, please make sure that you have gotten the right contest officials in mind. And here, because we are talking about the contest chair, well, contest chair needs to make sure that they have gotten the supporting role takers already in place as well. They have identified them. The list is here. I mean, I don't want to rush through it, but all of us are aware that we must have a chief judge, who is there to support the contest along with the panel of judges. A contest chair can appoint contest toastmaster. Some of us who've been around, we would know that earlier the term contest master was quite popular. But if you look at the rule book, the this role of a person running the contest on behalf of a contest chair on the day of the contest is contest toastmaster. So a contest chair can appoint a contest toastmaster. They must have timers in place, the ballot counters, sergeant at arms. If you are doing a hybrid contest at club level, you need to make sure that you have online timers and online moderators as well. For evaluation contest, we need to have a test speaker. Now that is the speaker whose speech the evaluation contest members would be going ahead and evaluating. And you need to make sure that this test speaker is again a paid member of a club, and you must not announce who the test speaker is before the contest. Now, at the very beginning, I showed you one document, which was the contest management rule book. There are a list of other documents that are part of that rule book itself. And as a contest chair, you need to make sure that with the relevant parties, those documents are circulated. So just to give you a few examples that's listed on this slide is to the contestants, you need to share or you need to ask them to complete their profile and complete the eligibility and originality criteria. For chief judge, you need to make sure that they have completed the judge's certification of eligibility and code of ethics, and same is completed by all the other judges as well. The ballot counters, the timers are given their relevant forms, winner notification forms are in place, etc. So again, the list of documents that needs to be ready. As a contest chair, I would urge you to make sure that you familiarize yourself with that. The second thing is the moment you open the rule book, in the appendix section, the list of documents are there along with their links. So all you need to do is just click on that link. It takes you to those relevant documents, get them downloaded. If you are doing the meeting in person, make sure that you get them printed and get them or to the venue and take that forward. Um, let's move on quickly to what's gonna come next. And obviously the resources, we will share it with you. The last aspect is the logistics. So contest chair, can decide to take help of a logistic team or an appoint a logistic team who can help with multiple aspects of logistics, which could be about the trophies, the venues, the other aspect like we spoke about, the refreshments, etc., etc. So all of these needs to be managed from a logistics perspective, and as a contest chair, you can enlist members to support you with that activity. Now, from the eligibility perspective, if you need support to go ahead and verify the eligibility, you can use the eligibility assistant that is available on the Leadership Central. You can also reach out to TI by the email that is listed right here on the slide to confirm the eligibility of the all the contestants. In terms of the availability of the role takers, please make sure, as Pandi was mentioning at the very beginning, that you have your backup. So please work closely with your chief judge to make sure that not just for judges, but for all the other role takers as well, you have the backup. And then finally, please make sure that contestants as well as all the contest officials are briefed well in advance, at least a couple of days prior to the contest. Well, I encourage to do it at least a week in advance, but you know, to the bare minimum, don't keep it anything to the last date. Make sure that you are able to do at least 2 days prior to the contest, and all the briefings, make sure that they are completed, which include the contestants briefing, the judges briefing, which chief judge will organize. So make sure that you get a confirmation from the chief judge on that. Now, one important aspect of contestants briefing is about their speaking order, drawing the lots. We'll spend some time on that in the upcoming segment, but just wanted to let you know that from a logistic perspective, you need to keep that in mind and how you would be drawing the lots. How would you be deciding the order? So these days it's very simple. Have a lot of randomizer tools that you can use. You can use the randomizer feature in Excel. If you are doing this briefing in person, probably you can just do this old fashioned chit in the box and ask them to pull out, or ask, or yourself can pull that out. So whichever ones you are comfortable with, you think will work, please make sure that you have a plan ready or a logistic in place for that particular aspect. Now, very quickly from and again, sorry, I missed to mention, I did mention at the beginning that everybody participating in the contest as a contestant or an official must be a paid member. Now, this is the aspect that I was mentioning about that I'll spend some time, which is the briefing. So let's quickly go through what you as a contest chair need to ensure that happens during a contestants briefing. First thing first, all the contestants must know when is the briefing. What that does is that helps those members prepare their schedule in advance. And if they are not able to attend the briefing themselves, it is going to be their responsibility to send a proxy on their behalf. I think these days with the with the option of you know conducting the briefing online, it becomes much easier to get people together. So it's very important that you communicate that in advance. Let the contestants know where, how the meeting will take place, etc., etc. And that way it becomes easier for both the parties involved, which is you as a contest chair and the contestants who are going to be attending this briefing. The second thing is, I would encourage you to ensure that before the briefing, you collect the contestant profile and the certificate of eligibility and originality. What that does is you are able to verify the key pieces of information from there, specifically their names, how to pronounce them. You know before the briefing that is there a possibility for someone who might not be eligible, and you are able to communicate in advance to that individual. So please make sure that you are able to, or try and ensure that you are able to connect their profile and the eligibility and originality certificate in advance. Now obviously for the evaluation contest and the table topics contest, the member needs to be a paid member of a club in good standing. For the international speech contest, the member needs to complete at least level 2 in the pathway. Now the other important aspect um in the contestant briefing is remind them about the rules, including what includes the protest. And finally, make sure that you are able to decide on the speaking order that day itself during the briefing so that it can be communicated. All right. Now from the contestants, we move on to some of the key role takers who needs to be brief, needs to be in place. First up, Sergeant at Arms. So again, a few quick requirements, and I really like the second bullet point, which is about sacrifice witnessing the contest. And this is an interesting aspect because sometimes your Sergeant at Arms needs, especially for the evaluation and table topic contest, there would be a set of Sergeant at Arms who would be with the contestants in the soundproof room outside of the venue where the contest is taking place, or in the room where the contest is taking place. So it's a role filled with sacrifice, and I think the S in Sergeant at Arms stands for sacrifice. In terms of eligibility, well, they need to be a paid member of a club in good standing, and some of the things that they need to support you with is one, the room, the if it is happening online, the online Sergeant at Arms or the moderator will help you set up the online setup. If they are present in the room, they need to help you with the mics and making sure that all the logistics are kept in place. They will also need to, during the contest, they need to help you with locking the doors, making sure that mobile phones and other devices are collected. They need to make sure that during the evaluation contest, they are collecting the evaluation notes, and once the contestant is in the room, they are handing those notes over. They need to make sure that they are also helping you in managing the distractions that could be there in the room. So, for an example, making sure that the members are not moving around when the contest is going on, and things like those, right? So these are some of the things that the Sergeant at Arms would be supporting you with, and you need to make sure that you are providing them with enough guidance on that. When it comes to the timer, again, a quick requirement will be to make sure that they are members of a paid member of a club in good standing. As I mentioned, as a contest official, they can't compete in the same contest. Now obviously goes without saying that if they are going ahead and taking up the role as a timer, they need to be one very clear what are the timing rules. So we are all aware ISC 5 to 7 minutes, table topic 1 to 2, and evaluation 2 to 3. And these timers must be very familiar on how the timing rules work. As a contest chair, you need to make sure that you are providing them with the speaking order and you are briefing them well in advance. Now, timers are really important because they are one of the members or contest officials who decides in terms of the whether the disqualification is going to take place based on timing. So it is essential that they are well aware when to start the time and how to record the time as well. And there are specific set of equipments that they might require to go ahead and do that. So please make sure as a contest chair you are able to provide them with the stopwatch. These days, obviously, with mobile phones and smart watches, etc., it's much easier. The second thing is to provide them with the tool with which they can showcase the timing to the contestant, right? So it could be either the timer card or timing devices, whichever one is available and feasible for you to use. So that is there. As a timer, and this is the point, the reason why it's written in red is that as a timer, you must not consider a fraction of a second when you are timing it. So for an example, you have a timing device which shows you fraction of a second, so hundredth of a second or a thousandth of a second. Some devices are that good as well. But when you are looking at the timing, when you are recording the timing, go by the absolute number. So if it is, let's say, 1 minute 1 second, and then uh, a 50th of that 1 second, you just consider that as 1 minute and 1 second and not consider that fraction. And then finally, once the contest is done, please make sure that your timer report is submitted to the chief judge, basis which they will be able to review and ascertain if we have any time disqualifications. Also, this is another important aspect to the all the contest officials who are involved. Please just forget what happened in the contest. Once you are done with the contest, do not go and share with anyone that, hey, this member got disqualified by 30 seconds, that member had could have taken 1 extra second, or hey, if you are a chief judge or a judge, don't get into that person could have said this person could have done that. No, maintain that integrity. Once the contest is done, it's as good as it just didn't happen. So just sort of forget about that. That becomes really important for all of us. From timers to, let's talk about quickly the ballot counters. Again, the requirement is for them to be a paid member of a club in good standing. They can't participate in the same contest. Before the contest, they need to make sure that they have access to the tally sheet. So as a contest chair, please ensure that that is provided. They need to have the speaking order, and they must know who are the voting judges. Now, a quick question to everyone here: should a tally counter be aware, or a ballot counter be aware, who the tie-breaking judge is? Just write a yes or a no in the chat. Should a ballot counter know who is the tie-breaking judge? Everybody says no. There is no one who says yes. Anybody for yes? Brilliant. Somebody said yes. Who is that? It just moved very quickly on my screen. Okay. Um, So I'll tell you this. The reason why no one but the chief judge should know that a tally counter, or sorry, who the tie-breaking judge is. Only the CJ knows. And as Ajay says, yes, only the chief judge who should know who the tally counter is. I see there is a question from someone that exactly is a tally counter a ballot counter? Okay, so let me just quickly spend 30 seconds on what exactly is a ballot counter. As the name itself suggests, the person is going to count the ballots. What are these ballots? These ballots are completed or filled by the judges, the anonymous judges that are there in the room. As part of completing the judging, they will fill the ballot, which is part of their ballot sheet. They'll complete that. You, as a ballot counter, one should know who these anonymous voting judges are, and with as much confidentiality as possible, please collect the ballots from them. Once you have collected the ballot, what you see on the right hand side of your screen, there is a tally sheet. You need to go ahead and fill the tally sheet. Once the tally sheet is completed, you sit down with your chief judge, get the tally completed, and basis this tally, you would be able to arrive who the first, second, and third place winners are. Okay. You need to also ensure that at the time of announcement of the winners, because you are the one who has worked with the chief judge to get to the top three winners, at any time, if by mistake the wrong winners are announced, you raise your hand, you immediately interrupt and let the chief judge and the contest chair know that there has been a wrong announcement made. So a lot rests on your shoulder to avoid the famous Steve Harvey moment, right? Where Steve Harvey incorrectly announced the winner of the beauty pageant, right? So you need, as a ballot counter, you are stopping from that Steve Harvey moment to taking place, right? So two really important rules, really important aspects. One is to make sure that you are collecting the ballots from the voting judges, and second, updating this tally sheet, which will help you get the first, second, and third place winners. So I don't remember the name, but whoever asked this question, hope I was able to answer. But again, we'll have an opportunity if there are still any questions that you have on ballot counters. All right, now protests. Now, here we are not talking about the farm protests or the political protests that we keep seeing in our country every single day. Here we are talking about the protests that can take place during the contest. Before I jump into the next slide, let's put it in the chat if you are aware about what are the criterias basis which the protests can happen. At the beginning of the session, I did mention about some of the aspects about protests, but what are some of the criterias basis which a protest can happen? In the chat quickly. All right, Shirley ma'am says originality. Yes, absolutely. What else? Reference to contestants, content, time, originality, eligibility. Okay, eligibility. Yes, brilliant. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Radhakrishnan sir. Rule breaking. Okay, that's an umbrella term. So we'll dive into and see what exactly are the aspects. Anybody else on anything other than what is mentioned in the chat so far? So we've seen originality, eligibility, reference to contestants. What else? Anybody else has any? Okay, more than 25% copied. So yes, that comes under the originality. Nana ma'am, thank you for referring to another contestant. Um, all right, Gokul personalized it. That's always good. All right, brilliant. So let's see. What are the criterias on which the protests can take place? One, it's on the eligibility, right? So as I mentioned earlier, that in order to be eligible for a as a contestant, you need to be a paid member of a club in good standing from the same area, division, or district in which you are competing. For international speech contest, you need to complete 2 levels in any path or be a DTM. The exception, please do make a note of this. Sometimes we sort of tend to forget that and jump in, but we need to also make sure that when you are looking at the the criteria for eligibility, make sure that you are also looking when was this club charter, right? So there is that exception for a club charter for less than a year before the club contest. Uh, this exception for international speech contest is provided. Um, Maintain eligibility at all levels of any contest. So this is a good one, right? 30th September was the renewal date, right? And let's say I'm the member who was going to participate in Area B1 contest. 30th of September, if I do not renew my membership, if I'm on October the 5th and I have not renewed my membership, I am not a paid member. So I've not maintained the eligibility, and that could be a potential reason for uh, for a protest in on the eligibility ground. No more than one area contest of a given type. So that's another key component. So these are the factors that you consider from an eligibility perspective on which a protest can be raised. In terms of the originality, and I see most of these points were covered in the chat as well, that your the speech needs to be substantially original. This is obviously mostly applicable in the ISC itself for evaluation and table topics. It's not something that will be relevant. 25% or less may be devoted to quoting or paraphrasing, and then any quoted or paraphrased material must be identified. So if somebody is taking a reference from, I don't know, an Oxford research, well, then they must tell that this is something that is coming out of Oxford research. And finally, and this is a really important one, which Gokul really personalized with my name, that during the contest, contestant must not refer to any contestant or the speech presented by the another contestant during the same contest in which they are competing. So let's say I go first and I see Shirley ma'am on my screen. So Shirley ma'am goes second. Shirley ma'am can't use my name and say, oh, Rudra mentioned in his speech, this is what it is. Well, that is a ground on which a protest can be raised for disqualification. So that's something that we must ensure that that is avoided. Uh, oh, this is the reveal that I wanted to keep, but slide has come up really quickly. I hope that there was one transition, but I think I skipped it. So lodging of the protest. Who can lodge the protest? It is the voting judges and contestants only. So if you are a good friend of a club member who noticed that the speech is not original, it's a copy from somewhere, can you raise a protest on behalf of your friend? Well, unfortunately, the answer is
No.
no. Only the voting judge and the contestants can raise the protest. And the ground of protest is the eligibility and originality clause only. To whom the protests have to be raised? It has to be raised either to the contest chair or chief judge. Let's say it's a club contest. There is a club president who is neither a contest chair or a chief judge. Can you raise a protest to them? Well, the answer is no. It is only to be raised to the contest chair or chief judge. And when can you raise the protest? And this is a really important point. The protests have to be raised before adjournment of the contest. Now, many of you may ask, what is adjournment of the contest? When does that take place? Right? So generally, once the contest is over, when the last contestant has spoken, the judges get 2 minutes of time to complete their ballots, and then the ballot counters will go around in the room, collect those ballots. The contest chair or the contest toastmaster who is running the contest at that time will ask the chief judge if whether all the ballots have been collected or not. Once all the ballots have been collected, it's been confirmed by the chief judge, and then we proceed to handing over the participation certificate to the contestants. Only then the contest master or the contest chair will announce that the contest is officially adjourned. Till the time that that announcement has been made that the contest is adjourned, the contest is still considered in motion and the protest can be raised. So, if you are a contestant or a voting judge who needs to lodge a protest, please make sure that you do it before that announcement has been made that the contest is adjourned, right? If you do it after the adjournment, and unfortunately, that's not going to be taken into the account. So, three things in terms of lodging the protest is only the voting judges and contestant can lodge the protest to the contest chair and chief judge or chief judge, and that must happen prior to the adjournment of the contest. All right, now we move on to the D-Day, the actual contest time that when the contest is taking place. Um, Again, you need to make sure that one, when you are organizing the contest, you are a contest official, you are there well in advance to make sure that you have familiarized yourself with the whole setup, right? Now, in this slide, let's talk specifically about the contestants. So, number one, you need to make sure that you are eligible to go ahead and participate in the contest. So, which means you have paid all your dues in time so that there is no sort of doubt and there are no protests over your eligibility. Please make sure that you have completed both your profile as well as the eligibility and originality document and submitted to the contest chair. Make sure that you are there in time to not just make yourself relaxed by being present at the venue, but also familiarize with the environment, right? Because there might not be a possibility of feasibility of you visiting the venue in advance, because there are times when the venues get set up overnight, etc., and they are temporary in nature and things like those. So only if you are able to reach to the venue in advance, you would be um, able to see what the speaking area looks like. You would also have an opportunity to conduct the audio and video tests, so you would be familiar with all the setup. You need to make sure that so there are times when I've seen that the draw of lots happen on the day of the contest, which is very unlikely, but it's still a possibility. So if that draw of lots or deciding of the speaking order has been put to the day of the contest, please make sure that you are part of that. In case you are using the prop, obviously you would have informed the contest chair regarding the prop during the briefing itself. But on the day of the venue, on the day of the contest, make sure that you show the prop to the chief judge as well. Draw of lots is deciding the speaking order, that which contestant will speak at what order. Um, Again, protest, as I already spoke about it, and please be relaxed, slow down, stand tall, and deliver your message. Back yourself, and do your best. Also, it's important to share feedback, but again, like we know, one of our Toastmasters value is respect. So please maintain respect in all regards. If at any time there is anything that you are managing, so for an example, if you reach late to the venue, you are not familiar with the speaking area, well, unfortunately, my friend, as a contestant, the risk is yours. If you have not been able to raise a protest before the adjournment of the contest, unfortunately, my friend, the risk is yours. So please be mindful of all these aspects and take all of this into consideration. um, Quickly moving on to a few other things, and again, I'll sort of skip through these because we've spent quite a lot of time on all these during the preparation phase. So again, as a contest chair or a contest toastmaster, make sure that you have your script ready, make sure that you have done the audio video test, make sure that all your contestant and officials are present, and you are able to go ahead and ensure that all the other logistics are also in place. Um, make sure that you are taking everything else that was discussed during the briefing into account. So for an example, make sure that your speaking orders are defined, and you're following to that. You are enforcing the rules of having that 1 minute of silent period. There is the announcement of adjournment happening properly as well for the contestant. Couple of more slides, and then we will get into the Q&A. So um, we already spoke about the protests. In terms of the results, so one, the chief judge will be going ahead and completing the result form and the winner notification and handing it over to the contest chair. Now, as a contest chair, you need to make sure that the winner certificates are gone ahead and updated. So you can use, if it is feasible, get the names of the winners printed. If it's not feasible, handwritten names are also a good way of sort of going ahead and completing those certificates. Please make sure that you are also going ahead and any disqualification that has taken place, you are announcing that. But be mindful that you are not naming any contestants in terms of their disqualification. And finally, once the contest is done, please settle the bills. Please make sure that as you are doing publicity before the contest on your dates and the venues and everything else, please make sure that you are going ahead and also publicizing the winners from your contest. A quick whistle stop tour on the hybrid contest, because that's something that is allowed at club levels. And again, the the overall construct around the contest remain exactly the same. One thing to remember is at an area, division, and district level, we need to be taking into consideration the live streaming of the contest, but that will be for viewing purpose only. For at a club level, the contestants can also join through the hybrid or the online setup. The additional aspects that needs to be considered for online contest is when you are an SAA in an online mode, an online moderator, make sure that you have the right platform so that you are able to bring in the right amount of people, make sure that you have catered to the waiting room, the breakout room set up in place. In terms of your logistics, make sure that you have strong internet connection, your camera is of good quality, the way the audio is going to be used. These days you have these clip on mics, so make sure that you have that so that the audio is very clear and there is no echo, etc. And finally, the place where the contestant will be standing and speaking, make sure that you have gone ahead and tested that with them so that they are clearly visible as well. um, in terms of the starting time, so please make sure that whichever platform you choose, and Zoom is the most preferred platform, make sure you open the Zoom room in advance so that the contestants are able to join, do the test, etc., like they are able to do it in the in-person setup. And then during the contest, to maintain distract to avoid distraction and maintain a good quality, please make sure that you are familiar with the Zoom settings around muting people, around restrictions on the chat, and all of those sort of options that you are very well familiar with and are able to help people navigate through it. One important aspect, which is around what will happen if a contestant drops off while they are speaking, right? So one, when we are talking about the international speech contest, you have couple of minutes of buffer, which means you can take couple of minutes of time to reconnect. But if you are an evaluation or a table topic contest, unfortunately, you are out if you have lost connectivity. And that's something, that a risk that you take if you are participating online in a club contest. As I mentioned, area, division, and district level contest will be in person. If you want recording both in the hybrid as well as in-person setup, during the briefing itself, you have to make sure that that is communicated to the contest chair and they are able to make provisions for that. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we wanted to share in terms of how do you prepare, how do you go ahead and plan your contest, how do you organize your contest, how you run your contest. Now it's time for us to take questions and all the details, including this presentation. Again, if you're able to scan this QR code, you would be able to find in the contest management document repository that we have for District 121. This presentation, we would also have it there. Like I mentioned, if there are any questions, any concerns, any challenges, well, here are my contact details. You will be able to reach out to me, and I promise I'll try to be as prompt as possible in able to help you with your queries. So now, as promised, we wanted to keep enough time for Q&A, so I will keep shut. I will stop sharing my screen and let's take questions. I would request distinguished Toastmaster Safir as well to join me in answering queries while I take a sip of water. So who is going to go for the first question? Nana ma'am has her hand raised. So let's
Nana ma'am
do it
always
like
has
this.
questions.
Let's do it like this. If you have a question, if you have already put it in the chat, it would be great if you are able to raise hand like CK sir has done already on the Zoom, so it becomes much easier for us to follow that order and maintain that that discipline as well in the room. So we'll go ahead and take the questions in that order. We'll start with Nana ma'am. So Nana ma'am,
Thank you.
shoot it away.
Thank you. My question is to Sapirji. Lately, I just noticed in this session of table topic contest, most of the clubs practice different way in selecting the topic for the contest, table topic contest. What is the exact procedure? Who makes the questions? Who reads out the questions? Who picks or who selects the topic?
Thank you, Nana ma'am. I want to answer this in two ways. One is about the selection of the topic, and second is how it is presented at the contest. As per the rule book, the contest chair is responsible to define or identify the topic. Okay, the contest chair. Now, if the contest chair wants to validate that with the chief judge, it is his or her prerogative to do that. But the responsibility of identifying the topic is with the contest chair. And then there is this practice of bringing 4 topics to the stage and then somebody picking it up. That is all not necessary as long as the contest chair is comfortable with the topic. So that is point number 1. Point number 2, in terms of announcing the topic, and I have seen different practices at different clubs. In a recent contest that I was attending, I saw that they were giving this 10 seconds from the time the name is announced for the person. They were giving different reasons. That is not the case as per the rule book. As per the rule book, the contest chair announces the name, the topic, and the name, and then the stage is left to the speaker, the contestant, for him or her to start speaking. And the timing will start with the first verbal or non-verbal communication with the audience, period. There is no 10 seconds buffer, there is no 30 seconds buffer. I hope I answered your question, Naina.
Just one doubt. Is
Okay.
it contest chair or contest master?
Okay, so it is the contest chair is the person who is responsible for the contest. The contest chair could assign a contest Toastmaster. There is no phrase of contest master. The contest chair could assign a contest Toastmaster to carry out certain responsibilities of the contest chair, including the management of the contest on stage. But still, the contest chair is the person who is responsible for the entire contest. He or she is the one who appoints the chief judge. He or she is the one who decides on the topic.
Good. Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
So just to clarify again, a contest, let's say, for example, area X1 is conducting their contest on 5th of October. There are two contests, evaluation and table topics. So the area X1 could decide that there is one contest chair who is responsible for both the contests, but the contest chair could assign two different contest Toastmasters who will present the contest on stage, one for evaluation and one for table topics. The responsibility of identifying the topic, identifying the test speaker, identifying the chief judge, identify or the person to whom protest can be lodged, the person who adjourns the contest, all of this will be the contest chair and not the contest Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Rudra, I hope you are back. We'll have
Yes,
Balal sir. Balal sir, go ahead, sir.
correct. Balal sir.
You're on mute, sir.
Unmute myself.
Yeah.
My question has already been answered earlier on when you put the management and the responsibility of the chief judge and contest chair. But the vexing question which I have, which created a bit of controversy last time also, is regarding the giving away. Announcement of the results is by the contest chair and giving away the certificates you mentioned. But what about the trophies? Because at the district contest, the CGD, the PQD, the DD, all are invited to the stage to give away the prizes, right? The trophies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's a lot of confusion created by that. Who gives to whom? Who gives what? Who gives which one? So, what is the standard practice? I know we keep on bungling it and doing it the way I please, way we please, and someone says, "Oh no, the main prize, that is the international speaking ISC, will be given by the district director. The next in order, the evaluation will be given by CGD, and PQD will give the table topic, this, that, and the other." Is there a standard format, and is there an accepted practice? And is it required to have all those people on the stage? And there's a lot of confusion in the milling.
Yeah.
So I would
So-
like both of you to contribute, Safir Aziz and Rudra. and I just wonder if you have the same opinion as me, or is it otherwise? I'm all
So
yours.
I'll take this question in two ways, sir. One, wearing my risk professional hat, that I always want something in black and white to back myself. If we look at the speech contest rule book, there is no mention of district officers coming on the platform, etc. I think it boils down to the contest management team. The second aspect that I mentioned during my presentation was the preparation is key. And for me, it becomes important to avoid any kind of commotion, any kind of confusion on the stage, that we are very well prepared as a contest management team well in advance, that one, who is going to announce the results. Contest chair, obviously it's a given, right? However, as a contest management team, we can always take exception. We can always say, hey, district officer, hey, district director, it's gonna be really great if you announce. There is nothing that stops us from doing that, right? We can always decide. But your point around that confusion, commotion is, if we are prepared, if we have already discussed, decided in advance, it's gonna help avoid that confusion, right? I think the other aspect that we would also, I mean, just from my perspective, I would also like to add is, um, because we have the top leaders of district present for that contest, which is going to send a champion to the next level, to the regional event. It's always good, right, to have these dignitaries present there, and it is sort of a good feel good factor for both the contestants as well as the audience that is present in the room. But I think to tackle any kind of confusion, any kind of commotion, any other scenario, the preparation is the key. Let me keep shut and see what Safir sir has to add on this. And then I saw a laughing emoji from Gokul, so I would like to put Gokul on the spot as well and see what his thoughts are on this.
Let's have
Okay.
Safir Aziz first.
Yeah. So, Rudra started saying that there is nothing written in the rule book. It's a question of our emotion that come into play at this time. oh, we have the district director available in the stage. What will he or she think if we don't call them on stage? What will the contestants feel if we don't have the district director give away the trophies? So my view is to keep it simple, straightforward. The announcement of the results is between the chief judge and the contest chair. Nobody else should get involved in that. Because it is their responsibility. The contest chair is responsible for the contest. The chief judge has gone through a process of identifying the winners, and between them, they should announce the winners. No, nobody else takes care of them. Now, who presents the certificates and the trophies? In a simple scenario, the chief judge and the contest chair can give away without complicating matters. But I would, it's a suggestion for the contest management team to consider. If it is at a club level, the highest functionary of that club is the club president and the VP education. Let
Yes.
them get the honors at that point in time. At area level, let the area director get the opportunity to give away, because it is their contest. They are conducting, or they are managing that contest. Similarly, let the biggest honor at the district level happen with the district director and the PQD on stage, because that is the district level event. This is my view, but there is nothing written in the rule book. So anybody, as long as they are prepared, well prepared, they can do that. Announcement of the results, it is with the chief judge and the contest chair giving away the trophies. The contest management team can decide, but let them keep it simple, straightforward, no confusions on stage. Let us not invite the entire audience onto the stage and let the stage break down. None of that happen. Keep it simple, straightforward.
Yeah,
I hope
I
that
still have a part of, no, I still have a part of the query. Why not
Okay.
put it in black and white? Why not put it in, I know it comes from the TMI. The rule book is from the Toastmasters International.
Mhm.
But at your level, as
Mhm.
a district chief judge, why don't you put down a standard guideline for the whole district to follow? It's my
Okay,
suggestion.
point taken, but I personally feel that the flexibility should be, let's say, for example, sir.
It's a flexibility which creates confusion.
I know, but if the guideline is that the main people responsible for the contest management is the contest chair and the chief judge, that's the basis. I'll give you one example. When I was the division director, Gokul wants to speak, but when I was the division director, I was not able to participate in any of my area contests. I was unavailable here. So if the district chief judge or district 121 puts out a guideline saying that the division director has to be there for giving away the trophies, sometimes it will not be practical. So better avoid it, is my opinion. But I will leave it to Gokul. You are on camera right now. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Safir. Balal sir, just to answer that part of your query, the district has formed a structure. And if you notice the last year's contest also, it was implemented by our current district director, Savita. At the level of contest, whoever leads that level will be given the opportunity to give away the awards. That is to say, if it's a division meet, you will never see trio give away the awards. Even if we are invited, we'll pass on the responsibility to the division director. But I'd like to highlight the point that Safir mentioned. There could be instances when the respective officer is not available at the venue. In such cases, could be discussed well in advance as to who should give away the awards. But practically, just to answer your query, sir, no division director is expected to give away the awards for area contest. No district trio member is expected to give away the awards during division meet, and that is a structure that will follow all the way up to the district contest. Hope that answers your query.
Yeah, but I would still like, why not, you should suggest to TMI and say that these are the things which should be put in black and white, because it will make matters easy. It will make matters easy and simple, because so many other rules are so clear cut. Why not leave this in this kind of some kind of abeyance? Why leave this important issue in
One
some
thing
kind
that
of
I can
abeyance?
assure you, Balla sir, is that our chief judge has been writing emails to TI since a very long time on a lot of aspects. So if you see changes in rule book next year, let's thank our chief judge this year for that, because such were the communications that have happened over the last 1 month especially. Thank you so much, Balla sir. We'll take that as a point and write to TI as well.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Balal sir, for the question. Yep, Jaideep.
Yes, sir. My doubt is you said that the contest master is not eligible to participate in the contest. Is the same thing applicable for the contest Toastmaster as well?
Contest
Same.
master and contest Toastmaster are the same individual.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if
No,
you look at the
I'm asking the things mentioned regarding the contest chair is applicable to contest Toastmaster, because if I am you understood, sir? Because if I am the contest Toastmaster in an event in area A1, am I eligible to say in area B2 like that? If am I eligible to participate? That's a question.
Rudra, you want to answer?
Sorry, I missed the question for a second. I just started
Okay,
to
so
cough.
maybe I'll answer. Jaydeep, the contest Toastmaster and contest chair are for a particular contest. Okay, so in that particular contest, both of them have the same responsibilities and the same privileges and the same ineligibilities or whatever that happens. Now, being a contest chair in one area contest does not prevent them from being taking part in another area contest. However, if you are a contestant at any level, club, area, division, you cannot be a judge, chief judge, or a tie-breaking judge in the same category at any level. That is the only criteria, only eligibility criteria. A contest chair, contest toastmaster, tally counter, timer, any of the functionaries of a particular contest cannot take part in that very contest. They can take part in any other contest. So if Jaydeep Chan is contest chair in area X1, he can take part in the contest in area X2, not an issue. But Jaydeep cannot be a judge, chief judge, or a tie-breaking judge in any area or club level. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Brilliant, and a great question, Jaydeep, because I think this is a query this year that we've been getting from a lot of people around that aspect. So thank you. Yes, Pandi.
Hi, good afternoon. So this is the question because we have completed for almost a club contest, but when as a chief judge or contest chair, when we used to do briefing, in the table topic is first. After 3 years, we are conducting now table topic. As per the rule book, when the first verbal or non-verbal moment, we have to start the timing. During our usual table topic in our clubs, people used to take for their own time, like 20 second, 30 second. Okay, so now here is question people are asking, is there any time limit people have to take the time? Because it's sometimes they are telling it's not fair because someone can take for 30 seconds, even 1 minute also, so afterwards they can start. So is it a way if the chief judge or contest chair, they can take the stand? Okay, I think if all contestants are okay, yeah, only 20 seconds are allowed, or else we can't set any timing. Because in the rule book, there's an
Yeah. So Pandi, again, going back to my approach on rule book, there isn't anything mentioned in the rule book.
Yeah.
So rule book doesn't say if after announcing the topic, how long a table topic contestant has. The second aspect that you mentioned around, can I agree with all my contestants that they have 20 seconds? Well, how would you indicate it to them? That's not a feasible option, and that will complicate matters, right? That how would you indicate to every contestants that since the time the topic was given, here are the 20 seconds left. So that's a scenario I would avoid, and I think Safir sir also wants to add, but let me just quickly finish that. When we are doing the briefing, we should tell the contestants that they should be mindful that once the topic is given, they should start at the earliest feasible, and they shouldn't take an unrealistic long time after the topic is announced. Safir sir, you wanted to add something?
Yeah. So you mentioned, Rudra, you mentioned about the briefing to contestants. Similarly, the chief judge could brief the judges that any contestant, if they are taking an inappropriate time to start with their speech, then they could consider that within the judging process.
Yeah, we said like that only indirectly. I mean, like doing
Yes.
the contestant. Even somebody raised that question. I told, I think you don't worry because I think the voting judges can. Yeah, this is a right approach to tell them
Yeah.
also in the contestants also.
Because see, the same could apply for international speech contest, no? Somebody comes and stands on stage for 2 minutes, or an evaluation contestant comes and stands there, being comfortable, making himself comfortable, doing his breathing exercises. All of that can happen. So let's not get into any of these. The rule book says the first verbal and non-verbal communication with the audience that we should follow. And if somebody is taking an undue advantage, let the judges mark their ballots accordingly.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
I see thank you, Pandi, for the question. I see there are some questions in the chat, so let me quickly read them out and let's try to answer them. Some have already been answered, so I'll not go through them. The first question that I see here, or the latest question that I see is from Tanuja. Is it allowed to make a contest sponsorship volunteer part of the contest role takers? I mean, it's very simple, Tanuja, if I understand your question, if somebody is sponsoring the contest, they have provided volunteers, can they be a contest role taker? If they are a paid member of a club in good standing, they can be. There is nothing that prevents them. And the other eligibility criteria that we discussed during the contest. If you have a specific scenario that you are encountering, feel free to reach out to either Safir sir or myself, and we'll see what exactly is the exact scenario. The next question that I see here is from Suchitra, that for an area contest, can an area director be the chief judge? Now, I don't think rule book says anywhere it says that you can't be a chief judge if you yourself are an area director. However, as a practice, I would encourage that this is an opportunity for you to, find out a member of a club who can take up this important position to manage the contest on your behalf. Anyway, you as an area director are super packed with multiple other priorities that you have to work on and support. So from a rule perspective, nothing prohibits you, but I would encourage to give opportunity. Safir sir, you want to add anything on that?
I just wanted to add one point regarding the area contest. At the area level, you are allowed to have voting judges from the participating clubs, which is not possible at division level or upwards because the contest rule book says that you cannot have a judge from a contestant's club. Okay, so at the area level, if at all you are having a judge from the one of the clubs, give equal opportunity for all the clubs in that area. So just keep that in mind. It's not relevant directly to the question of a chief judge, but if you are appointing a judge from one of the areas, one of the clubs in the area, we need to give equal opportunity to all the other clubs in the area as well. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, brilliant. I see there is a question. Yes, sir.
Rudra, I'm not sure whether you missed it. There's a question from Ambuj Madhav. Can a contestant be a guest speaker? In what scenarios a contest has to be redone? Have you seen that question?
So I think I missed that. Just give me a second. Can a contestant be a guest speaker? In the
If
same yeah,
if
please.
Ambuj is available, I would request him to clarify what does he mean by guest speaker.
Safir sir, it is basically with regards to demo speaker.
Guest speaker.
Test
So
speaker. Okay.
in a certain in a club or in an area, can they be a demo speaker in other club and?
Okay. So, okay, Rudra, you want to answer or shall I?
Please go ahead.
Okay, so Ambuj, a contestant in a club or an area can become a test speaker in another clubs or another areas contest. Not an issue at all.
Okay.
Okay. So the exception that Toastmasters rulebook states is about judge, chief judge, or tie-breaking judge. A contestant cannot be a judge, tie-breaking judge, or a chief judge in the same category at any level. All other role players, including test speaker, including the contest chair, including ballot counters, including timers, sergeant at arms, they can take part as a contestant in another contest. Let's say, for example, I am part of Club 1 I can be a contestant in club 1. I can be a ballot counter or a timer or a test speaker in club 2. Not an issue at all. In what scenarios a contest has to be redone? That's a tricky question because we cannot list all the scenarios. I'll give you a couple of examples where a contest was redone. Number one, in one of the table topic contests that I was attending, after 3 contestants spoke, when the 4th contestant was walking in, somebody played a recording of a previous speaker. The contest chair and the chief judge noticed it, and they decided to redo the contest because the contestant who was walking in could have heard the recording that were being played out. So in this scenario, it was a question of fairness that the chief judge and the contest chair wanted to apply to all the contestants, not giving anybody any unfair advantage, even if it was not their fault. So that was one scenario. And another scenario, let's say, for example, the table topic was announced wrongly for a contestant. In these scenarios, it can be redone, but it will be a decision that the contest chair and the chief judge together takes at that particular point in time, considering all aspects. One main important aspect that need to be kept in mind is about the fairness that we give to all the contestants. Rudra, you want to add something to that?
No, I think you covered that, Safir sir, and I think there was a question related to this asked earlier during the registration as well, that what happens if the topic is announced wrongly, right? So it's a call that needs to be taken on the spot by the contest chair and the chief judge, and if they feel that in the spirit of fairness, the contest needs to be redone, this is how we will sort of progress on that. Okay, Ambuj, does that help?
Yes, certainly helps. I just have one last query to my first question. Coming to the fairness point, does demo speaker really have to worry about who the contestants are? For example, if they would have already heard the demo speaker earlier on, does that make a difference, or should we really think about it?
So one thing, as you would have seen in my presentation, I mentioned that the contestants must not know who the demo speaker is, right? So which means that the demo speaker themselves are maintaining that integrity of not going ahead and announcing that they are going to be the test speaker for that particular contest, right? Now, if by chance, and again, the online setup has allowed us to visit multiple clubs and listen to speakers, etc. If I am, let's say, an evaluation contestant, and by chance I have had an opportunity to go to a club where this demo speaker comes from, and that person had delivered a speech at that time, well, there isn't anything much that we can do about it. But in all fairness, we as the contest officials must ensure that the demo speakers' names are not announced and people are not aware.
Rudra, I will just add one more point to that. So let's say, for example, at the area level, there are 4 clubs. And there are contestants from each of these 4 clubs participating in the area contest. I would recommend that we don't have a test speaker from any of those 4 clubs because it is giving an unfair advantage to one or more of the contestants. They would have heard the speaker multiple times and things like that. When it comes to the division level, the same rule that applies to judges, I believe we should apply to the test speaker, that it should not be from one of the contestants' clubs, and same at the district level.
I have a question
Yes,
about the
Malini.
adjournment of the contest. Now, it was given to us that after the chief judge collects the ballots, it can be adjourned. But earlier, I remember reading that till the results are announced, we cannot take the contest as adjourned. So I was slightly...
Okay, okay, so the rule book states, let me just quickly get the reference, Malini, ma'am. I'll read it out exactly as is in the rule book. Meanwhile, if anybody else has a question, please go ahead and ask.
Because you see, protest can still be made if the announcement is wrong.
Yeah, that's
by the ballot counters and the chief judge. If the contest chair is announcing the results and if there is a
But
mistake in the results,
ma'am, that is not a question of protest because the contestants nor the judges will know what the results are. If an announcement is made wrongly, then it's the timer for time disqualifications and the tally counter who can correct the situation. It's
that's
not a
exactly what
question.
I said. I said that
Mhm.
ballot counters or chief judge. Supposing it is the contest chair who is making the announcement and the announcement is wrongly made, the chief judge also would know that the announcement is wrong.
But
Now,
chief
my
judge will
question
also.
is, yes?
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
my question is not that. My question is, can we actually adjourn a contest before the results are announced when there is a scope for protest even at the time of the announcement of the results?
So
what I feel is, instead of saying the contest is adjourned, we can say that the time for protest by the contestants and the judges is now over. Because I feel we cannot take the contest as adjourned at that point of time.
So the rule book, I'm reading out the rule book regarding protests. There is another statement which I'll find out. It says
I've
any
shared the
protest.
screenshot with you, Safir. You can read that out. I've shared that over WhatsApp.
Okay, I was looking for it. Okay, so there are two statements which I want to read. One is associated with the protest. It says protests are limited to eligibility, originality, and reference to another contestant or another contestant's speech, and must only be lodged. Any protest must be lodged with the chief judge and or the contest chair prior to the contest being adjourned. So this is one statement in the rule book, Malli ma'am. Okay, the word is prior to the contest being adjourned and not prior to announcement of the results. The second statement, winners must be announced prior to the end of the event. If the contest is the only event taking place, winners must be announced before the contest adjourns. If multiple contests are taking place as part of a larger conference or event, winners from all contests must be announced before the end of the conference of event. So basically, if there are multiple contests, like for example, in our district conference, the announcement of winners could be at the end of the conference, which is after 2 days. We will not be able to keep the contest open for protest until the end of that second day. And that is where the adjournment comes in. And there is one more statement which I am looking for, which I'll find out and read it out. But please go ahead with any other question.
I don't see any other questions in the chat. There were a couple of questions, quick ones I have responded.
Okay, so this is a statement. This is a statement, Malina. If there are multiple contests taking place at one event, each contest must be officially adjourned prior to the beginning of the next contest, even if winners have not yet been announced. So I think it is very clear now.
Yes.
So if there are multiple contests that are happening in a contest, one contest has to be adjourned latest before the next contest starts, even if the winners have not been announced.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you. I didn't remember that. So I was thinking that it wouldn't be right on our part to adjourn, I thought, till the results were announced. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Brilliant. We'll take this one as the last question in the paucity of time, and then obviously, like I mentioned, you all know now, Safir sir, myself, you have a face to the name, so you'll be able to reach out to us. I think Toastmaster Meenakshi had a question. So please go ahead, and this will be the last question, and then obviously we'll be open to take any questions one-on-one offline.
How many judges can be present in a contest?
Meenakshi,
judging question.
Yeah, Meenakshi, as per the rule book, at a club level, at an area level, there has to be a minimum of 5 judges plus a tie-breaking judge plus a chief judge. At the division level, this was covered as part of the judges training program. At the division level, it is 7. And let me quickly read out the exact without making mistakes from my memory. Okay, at the club, minimum 5 area minimum 5, division and district level minimum of 7 or equal number from each division at the or each area at the division level and each division at the district level. So 5 and 7 for all our practical purposes.
Okay, thank you.
This is 5 voting judges, then tie-breaking judges has to be separate, and the chief judge has to be separate.
At the club level also.
Club level also.
Okay.
I would recommend, what I would recommend is that at all levels, we don't go by the minimum. We give more opportunities for more club members or more people who are interested to take part in the judging process. So give more opportunities. Don't go for the minimum. That's my recommendation. Okay.
Okay, brilliant, Safir sir. One last question, I think, which is an important one, judging question. So I'll pass it on to you. The question is: at the area level, chief judge has identified 2 paid members from all paid clubs in the area to serve as voting judges. Now, one person out of them conveys absence at the nth moment. We are above the total number of judges required for the area contest, but can the area contest proceed in this setup where we don't have equal number of judges represented from each club?
My view, okay. My view is that the chief judge has done all that is possible within his or her means to provide equal representation. At the last minute or the nth minute, somebody has dropped out. He can try in the n minus 1 minutes that is available to him to find out if there are possible judges to come up from that club, or he proceeds as it. Google.
Okay, my view is slightly
observation.
different. I agree with one of your views, which is to try and identify a judge. The other option connects slightly to what you mentioned earlier. See, why have 2 paid clubs per 2 paid members per club to serve as judges? You can have 3. And once there is 1 person that is missing, remove 1 person per club as judges, so that clubs are still equally represented. If you understood what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I understood. But let's say, for example, he has identified 2 each, and then only 1. If the the total number doesn't match, all of those criteria comes in. So all of those criteria come into play.
Correct.
It's an exception to an exception. I will leave it to the chief judge. Maldi ma'am wanted to say something. Maldi ma'am.
The rule book also says when it is impractical, it is all right, right?
That's at the club level.
Yeah, yes, club level, not at the area level, but at the
So
club level at least, in the sense.
This question, Maldi ma'am, is at the area level or above, where
yes,
there are multiple.
Yes. Sorry.
Actually, only at the area level, not even at the division level, because at division level, we cannot have members from the contestants' clubs to be part of the judging panel. So only at the area level, this.
Area.
Okay, brilliant, wonderful questions, and I sincerely hope that we've been able to answer to all of queries. I'm conscious that we are 1 minute over the schedule time, so I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for your time, for your participation, and to call this meeting to close. May I invite our Program Quality Director for District 121, Distinguished Toastmaster Gokul, to say the final words, please.
Thank you so much, Rudra. I'm unsure if you can hear me properly because there is an internet glitch that is happening at my end. But thank you so much to all of you who have stayed with us so far and literally enjoyed the contest management training that was conducted today. Why I use the word enjoy is because we had questions after questions that were shot at both the contest coordinator and the chief judge, all of which they've answered. And I simply loved one point CK Ballal sir highlighted, which was about writing to TA about some of the aspects they could consider, which I could assure you that both the contest coordinator, especially the chief judge, has been doing over the last many months. Thank you so much to both our resource persons, especially contest coordinator Rudra, for running the show so effortlessly. I know the effort that he has put behind preparation for the same, the hours, the edits with the PPT that we have had over the last many days, especially. Thank you so much, Rudra, from the bottom of our heart for conducting the session so very well, the benefit of all the members of District 121. And thank you so much, Distinguished Toastmaster Safir, our District Chief Judge, for supporting Rudra so well, especially with respect to some of the aspects related to our PowerPoint presentation, as well as the question and answer session. A special thanks also goes to the person who made the call Toastmasters, so famous in District 121, our past public relations manager, Ashwin AR, who was our MC and the Sergeant at Arms for the meeting today. Special thanks to all of you, our district officers, and especially our valuable members who joined in so many numbers, even on a national holiday. Thank you so much. It means a lot for us as leaders of District 121 to see you join in and enrich yourself during the session. Thank you to each one of you once again. Have a great day ahead. Enjoy the best possible extent. It's a national holiday. But to all those who are celebrating Puja, there is a Puja celebration also that is tagged today. Please enjoy that as well. Thank you so much to everyone. Hope to see you for the next session or the next event very soon. Until then, a huge bye-bye from all of us here at District 121. See you soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
I
you.
think we can stop the recording, but we'll stay back for networking because that's what